Hello friends, after watching my first video on working capital concept and types and scope, let us continue the journey of working capital studies. Today, in this particular session, we are going to see the working capital financing. So at the end of this particular session, you will be able to know the WCF. Friends, when it comes to making the provision for working capital requirements, basically there are two ways to get that done. One is trade credit and second one is the bank financing. In trade credits, I'll give you an example. When we do some business, we get on the raw materials buy from the suppliers. But it is not like that every time we make the cash payment to our raw material suppliers. They give us the raw material and we make their payments after 3 months. Or in some cases, when you work, you have employees working for you. You don't make payment of them on daily basis. Rather, you use their services for entire month and then at the end of the month you make the payments to them. So it means that whatever work that is getting performed by the employees, they gives you a breathing space of almost 30 days to make their payments. Or similarly, when you buy raw materials, even the suppliers of raw materials provides you the credit of say 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, up to 6 months to up to 1 year, depending on to the kind of supply and the regularity of your businesses with those suppliers. So friends, these are the sources by which you can feed the working capital financing. I call it as a non-cash based financing, or in business language, it's trade finance. Moving to the next, the bank finance. Apart from this, there are ways by which working capital requirement can be fulfilled. Source number one for the same is bank overdraft. Bank overdraft is the temporary provision of money by the bank to its premier customers to withdraw the amounts from the banks in spite of not having the same into their accounts. So it's a temporary arrangement of allowing the premier customers to withdraw extended cash than what is there into their accounts. We call it as bank overdraft. Second source of bank financing is cash credit. Cash credit is a temporary loan on a recurring basis whereby a bank provides certain amount of loan in the form of CC accounts to the business or a person. That particular amount goes to CC account and person or the organization can use those funds like their saving account. So they can issue the checks, they can make the payments through the same, or they can even keep depositing the money within the same accounts. So the total interest that the people or the business has to pay is only on the basis of the outstanding amount at a particular point of time. So this is a temporary arrangement of making on the funds available to the customers or to the business organizations. Second source of financing. The third source of bank financing is the bills discounting. Bills discounting is a mechanism which normally do happens during the trade businesses or in the process of import-export kind of businesses. Say for example, company A has sold certain goods or services to a customer who has bought it on credit basis and the amount of sale is, let us say, costing 10 crore rupees. The payment is to be made after 6 months because such kind of deal has happened when the sale has taken place. So the bank is involving in the form of bills discounting. How? I will tell you. Let us suppose the seller has sold those 10 crore rupees materials to the customer. Customer has given the promise to give the repayment of the same after 6 months. But let us suppose if the organization is in high demand of funds immediately, they cannot reach out to the customer and saying them, I have a requirement, so give me my 10 crores, even if I have given you the extension of credit for 6 months. If you do that, you are losing the customer and you are losing the faith of the customer. But then what about the expenditure requirements that you have? So bank comes in picture. We call that as a bank's bills discounting. So in the process, the organization will reach out to the bank, and bank will say, okay, you have a fund requirement today, but you will be getting funds after 6 months from the customer and the amount is 10 crores. So bank will say, better, I will give you 9 crore 50 lakh rupees today, and I will collect those 10 crore rupees on behalf of you from the customers after 6 months. So in this process, what has happened? The customer who has bought our materials on credit, he got the full period of 6 months for making the payments of 10 crores. So he is happy. Another stakeholder, bank, they are also happy because they have given me 9.5 crores today, but they will be getting 10 crores after 6 months. So they are in profit by 50 lakhs. So they are also happy. And at the same time, what about me? Me as a business is also happy because I was having an immediate requirement to make the payments of certain entities. I was having shortage of fund and I could not have a chance to tell them that I have 6 months to get payments from my customer, and once I'll get the payment, I'll make the payments of yours. This is not good for the business, and this way you cannot run the businesses. So you are also happy because you got little lesser, that's 9.5 crores as against the 10 crore requirement, the claim that you have. But by doing that, you got the money at the right point of time. So this is the another source of working capital financing. We call it as bills discounting. Apart from this, there is one more source of banking financing, that is letter of credit. We call it as LOC. LOC is a very popular way of extending the working capital financing to import-export based organizations. I'll give you an example. Let us suppose there is a company in India. They have exported certain materials to a company from USA. Now, the USA company do not know the Indian company. The Indian company do not know the US company. So how this trade will take place? Because when you are doing certain trade for the first time, or when you are doing the trades in an international market, you need to have a guarantee of something. Okay, because you are expecting not to have any difficult experience in the process of doing this export or import. So this is the product, we call it as a letter of credit that supports you in this particular journey. How? I'll explain. I have to export to American company. I don't know American company. I'll reach out to my banker. Okay. At the same time, that American company will also reach out to American banker. So American banker will issue a letter of credit on behalf of that American company. What is that letter of credit? That letter of credit would be issued on behalf of Indian bank, which is my banker, exporter's banker, I could say. So that American bank will say, yeah, in spite of not knowing you, means the American company, you are the State Bank of India from India. I knows because I am Bank of America. We knows each other better. And I take the guarantee of this person from America who is purchasing the materials from you. So if he will not make the payments of your goods and services in time, I as a bank take the guarantee of making this repayment to you, even if they will not make the payment. So this is a letter of credit issued by importer's bank to the importer, means the US company. That US company will take that letter of credit and will give it to Indian bank. The Indian bank is nothing but the exporter's bank. So exporter's bank will say to the Indian customer, ki see, we are selling the materials to American company. Even I don't know who is that American company, but I know Bank of America from US and I have good faith on them. And Bank of US has issued a letter of credit on behalf of the importer's bank. So we can take the assurity of ensurement of the payments on time. So now Indian company or myself is happy and I am ready to extend the sale date and ready to go for the export to an unknown purchaser from USA. So this way, in the process of international trades, you can support the letter of credit, and that gives a guarantee and assurity of timely repayment of the sales deeds to both the customers. So this is the process by which import export happens, and that's why is one of the source of extending the working capital requirement. Similarly, friends, there are some sort of specific working capital loans being made available by financial institutions and banks to take care of the day-to-day operations of business enterprises. Of course, there are several ways and means to finance the working capital requirements, but it needs a specific understanding of impacts of each one of them and the obligations that might arise out of those regimes. That can help you out in managing your working capital more precisely and in more better way. I hope you have enjoyed my video. Keep watching the same, and if you have any doubts, you can keep asking me. Thank you.